The recent bombings in Boston proved just how vulnerable the United States is to the threat of terrorism. As was demonstrated, a single lone suspect on the loose was able to shut down an entire American city. Imagine what a well-coordinated attack in multiple parts of the country could do. It could shut down the entire United States of America. Panic would ensue, our financial markets would crash, and martial law would be declared immediately. The question then begs, are Americans any safer now post the September 11th terror attacks that rocked New York City and the Pentagon in Washington? And the answer to that question is clearly no. Not only did the CIA interview the eldest brother Tamerlan in 2011, but they also failed to stop him from carrying out a gruesome and deadly attack at the Boston Marathon only a few years later. Did the Patriot Act stop him? Did the National Defense Authorization Act? Did tightened national security prevent this act of violence? Or did it simply help showcase a police-state environment in Boston, a full-blown spectacle and militarization of a once peaceful city? Get your hands up, they said. Remove yourself from your home. There's a terrorist on the loose. No warrant, no Fourth Amendment. Just an illegal search and seizure of your home and property. A clear violation of your rights due to one suspect, unarmed and hiding in a boat. Is this what America now looks like? Should Americans have to trade their freedom for perceived safety when clearly they are no safer now than they were before? Is that a sacrifice Americans are willing to make? In fact, we could argue that the militarization of Boston was actually more terrifying to more people than the actual act of terror itself. So who again is actually winning this war on terror? Can the United States stop acts of terror from happening in the first place? Will a proposed ban on guns help stop it? Will CISPA or SOPA? The answer is clearly no. What blew up at the Boston Marathon, killing 3 and wounding dozens more, was a bomb made of pressure cookers. It wasn't an assault rifle or an AR-15. They were materials that can be found at your local Home Depot or Williams-Sonoma. Should the Department of Homeland Security ban all pressure cookers? And how can they best stop future acts of terror? Imagine, for example, if a group of terrorists decided to blow up an entire movie theater, grocery store, or shopping mall. Not just one, but dozens of them all across the country at once. What could the United States do to stop them, if anything at all? Would metal detectors and TSA checkpoints at every movie theater across the country help prevent these attacks? Are Americans comfortable with a pat-down before they buy their popcorn or take a restroom break? What should be most alarming is that the Boston terror attack was actually a very unsuccessful one in terms of casualties, and the alleged suspects that built the bombs obvious amateurs. If they were any good at what they were doing, the bombs that went off that killed 3 would have killed thousands of people and wounded hundreds more. But America was lucky this time. What about the next? Is a lockdown of an entire American city like Boston in order to hunt for one suspect on the loose a good thing? Did it demonstrate to the world America's competence in dealing with acts of terror, or its incompetence? The reality is there is nothing the United States government can do to stop all acts of terror, and this is exactly what Boston proved, the incredible vulnerability of the United States. This is what makes the Boston bombing such a significant act of terror. It just exposed America's Achilles heel, making it abundantly clear that Americans are less safe now than they were before September 11th. This doesn't mean the United States shouldn't try everything they can to stop these acts of violence. It just means they can't. America's vulnerability to random acts of terror is a truth no one wants to admit. Americans instead want to pretend that their families are safe, that the next time they drop off Johnny or Ann at the movie theater they won't be bombed to smithereens. This is simply not true. Instead of becoming safer, you've actually become less safe, because you've traded your freedom in the process. Your rights have been vilified, your Second Amendment is now under attack, your right to a fair trial, habeas corpus, right not to be tortured as an enemy combatant, or illegally searched and seized without warrant has collapsed. And for what? Perceived safety? Now the only people with guns or bombs are the criminals, and you're the one with your hands up. Your wife and child screaming in the background, tears flushing their faces, as a SWAT team searches your home and opens fire in your backyard. If you like this video, please share it everywhere. Embed it at popular websites all across the internet. save it, tweet it, Facebook it, and get it out to the viewing public.